You're listening to the We Talk Nerd podcast, the podcast about gaming, movies, and everything nerd. I'm your host, Brandon.
I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rob.
And this week, not a whole lot of news going on, but we'll jump in with Andrew and see what he's been playing.
So remember that game I played on the Switch back when? It was like a Zero Striker Type 2 in the Striker Pack.
I remember talking about that.
It's that soccer game, right?
It's that soccer. No, it's not a soccer game. It's like that Mega Man like that I was talking about before, and it's on the Switch. It's amazing.
It's like that farming game where you go and you pick stuff up and sell it for money.
You know what? We'll go with that. Yeah. So I played it comes with two games. I played the first one. It was a great game. I rated it like an 8 out of 10. Then I played the second one, which I was actually a little disappointed in because it did something different. It allowed you to play two characters, which played differently than the original character. So it gives you more options. Sure, that's fine. But in general, the storyline was worse, and it was very short and not really challenging. So I'm going to rate that one a 6 out of 10. The number 2, part 2 of that one. Yeah.
They got fed on a Zero Striker 1 success and just really mailed it in for the second one, huh?
Yeah, I mean, if they make another one, I'll still be really... I'll get it, but that one kind of just interesting.
So it's fair to say you're a Zero Striker fanboy.
Yes, absolutely. I will pay that $20 that I did for the first one for that second one too.
The curse of the sequel.
Yeah. All right. So that's all. Really, that's all I've been playing. Yeah.
So there's no question what Rob's been playing.
No question.
Nope. Not at all.
So.
But maybe a little bit of a surprise about who I was playing with.
Maybe.
Yay.
That is correct. Brandon and I were playing some Sea of Thieves last night, and it was pretty cool.
Hoisted anchor. And,
yes.
Set sail.
We certainly did. We certainly did. Unfortunately, it took most of the gameplay was logging in and watching the loading screen.
It's been rough.
That was a problem. Yeah, it was a rocky launch to say the least. And games that are really happy this typically are. We're still waiting to get paid for some of the chests we turned in yesterday, so that's kind of interesting. But
as a pirate, I am very concerned.
Yeah, there was some weird bugs, and we'll talk a little bit later, but I think the fun was had, and I think it was demonstrated, especially when I yelled out to the people we're playing with. I'm like, hey, let me know if anything's up in front of us. And they go, there's a big rock, and we hit it and just turned sideways almost immediately.
Yeah.
So I had a good time with it, as you can tell.
Yeah, so that's what I've been playing a little bit too, and got a little bit back into Stardew Valley some.
Nice.
I at least want to finish the second year because I've never done that before the multiplayer hits. But that's what I've been. I kind of want to talk about Sea of Thieves right now. Let's just started off on the right foot.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
let's talk about it.
Should I just leave and then come back later? Okay.
No. What you should do though is go download it.
Okay.
Because basically,
I should do that, right?
Anybody who's never tried Game Pass can play for 2 weeks for free. Because there's an Xbox Game Pass trial, and you can play Sea of Thieves with a trial pass. So there's no reason that anybody hasn't tried. Like everybody should try this game at least for free. So yeah,
you know who tried it for free was at Crispy724.
Yeah,
he was with us last night.
Thought I had fun with him.
Yeah.
Sadly, we didn't have a fourth. No.
Yeah, we had a rando. It was all right.
Some randoms, yeah. But we had a lot of rough, launch issues, like Rob said. At one point,
benefits, though.
Yeah,
like an indestructible ship.
We did have an indestructible ship.
Yeah,
like Rob said, we hit a rock, and
no damage.
No damage.
I think maybe the damage service or whatever that kind of calculates how much you actually take was offline. So we basically had this invincible ship that we smashed into rocks.
We did take some cannonball damage though.
Yeah, that was working. That was working.
Working.
Okay, so I want to know how were the servers in general?
At some point they turned them off and let nobody join in if he wasn't already in the game.
Okay, all right. And
so pre-US launch, I think everything was good sailing, and then good old US came in there and set everything on fire, as we always do with launches.
Yeah, we ruined everything.
Any numbers?
I haven't seen any yet.
1 billion people played it.
1 billion people.
No, I haven't seen any numbers. I'm sure they'll pump those up, as time goes on. But let's just put it this way: more people than should have been playing. How about that?
Okay. I mean, it may come from the free trial that everyone
Lot
has
of
been
free people
downloading.
playing.
So,
Yep.
I think it's fair to say. I
okay.
think it's fair to say a lot of people are not going to be around in a couple weeks, although I don't know what that's going to do to the overall numbers. One thing I will say, though, is even with the problems with the connectivity and everything else, it was still super smooth gameplay on the ship with, Brandon, Chris, and I running around doing stuff. All of that was smooth as can be. No issues there. It was just whenever we came to interact with some of the, some of the common areas where we had to go. You could think of like Ironforge and WoW. Sometimes you go and talk to the auctioneer and take some time before anything comes up, or at least that's how it used to be when like vanilla was out.
Yeah.
So similar type of thing. Like there was delays for sure, but overall the gameplay smooth as can be.
And experience, like you said, very good. Just as like beta, but unlocked everything, so you can explore and do all of the events, right?
Stuff's
Yeah,
there.
we didn't
Hopefully
get
they do
too
more.
far into it. Like I do want to do a raid pretty soon.
I do. Yeah, that'd be fun.
I think that'll be fun to check out. And I've watched it enough on stream to see how that all works. But they introduced new monsters, they introduced new animals, they introduced new vendors, new quest givers. So there's a whole bunch of different things added on. So it's cool. And if you've been watching Twitch at all, I'm sure you've seen the Kraken pop up, who King Goth is affectionately calling Karen whenever Karen shows up and attacks the ship.
So I'm really curious about how the overall community is seeing this as on release, because there's Reddit, of course. It can determine.
Mixed.
It's very mixed. Okay.
Very mixed on Reddit.
Okay, because that's really how it determines that. It's not really how it determines the people's voice, but it is a good indicator. So
is it? What about the Destiny 2 subreddit?
Oh no, that's what I'm saying. Like in that case, those are the only people that are outspoken and passionate about it. So these are the same people for Sea of Thieves. They could be completely different people. Who knows?
Right.
So I kind of want to know. So it's mixed right now.
Yeah, some people I think had very odd expectations for this game, where they were thinking maybe they're going to have a Skyrim or a World of Warcraft type of experience where there's going to be very huge in-depth things. When really this game is, I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but I think it's like PUBG and Fortnite, and when you just jump in with friends and play, and the end goal is to unlock cosmetics. I mean, that's really all there is to it. You go in, it's for fun. It's not like there's no progression chart of like, I've done this, so I'm so far into the game. It's just I go in, I've had fun, and I look kind of cool.
Yeah, and there's no barrier to entry. Anybody can play this game. It is not hard to play. Even if you're not good at shooting or whatever else, you can hoist and unfurl sails. I mean, it is there for you. So yeah, I don't think there's any issues with even even couples playing together. I think would have a good time because usually one of the couple ends up being like a little bit more skilled or maybe a little bit more into games. The other one maybe not so much. So I wouldn't see that as an impediment for enjoying a game together.
It's good, like if you have 4 people, it's a good like a game night kind of.
Oh sure, yeah.
So no trolls? You didn't run into any trolls?
So many trolls.
But everyone's a troll. That's the thing. It might as well call Sea of Trolls.
It's so far it's been pretty toxic from what not really toxic, but I mean it's a pirate game. We're all going for some booty. So
PvP is expected. And PvP is anticipated. Yeah.
We had a very long encounter in our gameplay with Rob, and we sank their ship, but we didn't have anybody. Like we both jumped off, and we had a rando on the ship, and he didn't once we jumped off and sank the other ship, he didn't drop anchor on ours, so it just kept sailing and sailing away.
And then he didn't
got hit with, and he didn't patch any holes, so it's getting hit by cannonballs. So we're like trying to swim to it, and it's just slowly sinking in the water, and we lost all our chests and everything. So we fought for no reason and lost all our stuff. It was very funny. It's very funny.
It was funny because they were this is Chris and Brandon's first time playing, and they maybe seen it before, but I pulled up alongside the other ship because I was always steering, because steering is very difficult in the game.
Yep.
And I pulled up alongside this other ship, and they're shooting at it, and they're missing. Not to call you guys out, but maybe 1 out of 10 shots were actually landing. So it was really tough.
It's surprisingly hard to shoot a ship when it's
It
like
can
going
be.
up and down and up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then they tried to ram us, and I saw this happening. So I jumped off of our ship onto theirs, and then I killed both of them on the ship. And then I went downstairs to look for the loot and realized I was up to my neck in water. So I jumped out, and I'm looking for our boat, thinking, okay, well, hopefully someone dropped the anchor. Nope, it's off like half a mile.
Ship's gone.
Yeah, so I
This is
started
great.
swimming.
These are really fun.
Yeah.
It's a basic game in a lot of ways, and it's more of the framework that allows for that
Experiences.
fun to happen, right?
Yeah.
Because I think if it was really story driven, you may not focus as much on what you can do. You might be like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do. So really, you can do whatever you want in this game. It's really great.
Going
I
off
would
of-
like more,
yeah.
maybe some like focused stuff in the future, but
Well, you'll
I
get
really
that
hope
with
it
the
is
quest, I think, with the like riddle based quests and everything. I think that might be more towards what you're looking for. But the early quests are just go kill, go dig, go find, a couple of things. It just gets you into the game and just gets you started.
yeah, it is a sandbox game where you're given everything at the beginning and you're told to just have fun.
Exactly. That's what I was gonna say. Like going off what you said, is Fortnite is about experiences. You jump in, you make plays, and then that's what you tell your friends, right?
Yeah.
I made this awesome play. What you guys just experience is what Sea of Thieves is all about. So yeah, looking forward to more of those stories and possibly on our community. That'd be nice.
Yep.
And maybe I'll play. Maybe.
Tip for the wise: if you're playing solo, avoid storms. Because I played earlier today and solo, got into a storm. I spent 10 to 20 minutes patching and dumping water out of my ship continuously as my ship went in a circle in the middle of a storm, and eventually the storm left.
Okay.
I should have let it sink, but it was lots of
Well,
fun.
the storms are similar to Mad Max. I think everyone can kind of draw a relationship to the Mad Max game, where you can go into the storm and find legendary loot. That is also true in Sea of Thieves, where the storm has more treasures.
Pretty cool. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah, but we can move into some other topics.
Yeah, what else we
Some
got?
Things. Well, it's not. I don't know if you guys want to talk about this much, but Assassin's Creed, supposedly the next game will be set in Greece. That's what Origins right now, where they're a lot of development. And,
He's getting a little lag. Just
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
so it sounds like we're starting to lose Brandon a little bit. Hopefully
Yeah.
his connectivity can get figured out. So Brandon might just want to double check what you got going on. But until that time, we can talk a little bit about the next Assassin's Creed, I believe is what he was going to bring up, being set in ancient Greece. Did you get a chance to check out the Egypt one, the Origins?
Origins? No. I've
Okay.
only been hearing it from you guys. And
Yeah.
I'm honestly waiting for it to go down in price even more than it is, I know. But then again, waiting for that definitive edition, not definitive, but the all-inclusive edition might be nice with the
Right.
season pass.
Yeah, I think that's really the way to buy these games is on the game of the year type of strategy, especially if you're not, waiting with bated breath for the next one to come out. I'll say Origins was a great return to form. Greece makes sense to me because it's probably going to be pretty similar in terms of, it's just on the other side of the Mediterranean, right? So they'll be able to use a lot of the similar architecture, probably a lot of the same monsters and weapons and whatnot. So we'll see some of that. It looks like we got Brandon back with us.
yeah, hopefully. I can hear you guys fine. You guys hear me?
Yeah,
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 we're
you,
good.
you're
Yeah,
breaking
good
up
now.
real bad early.
That's weird.
So what else
Greece.
did you want to say about Assassin's Creed? Yeah, tell us about Greece.
I mean, you guys pretty much hit the nail on the head there.
Nice. We got it.
Rocked it.
But yeah, it's probably going to be a lot of similarities with Origins.
And that's a good thing. Hopefully they can still be creative, but yeah, I wouldn't be mad.
Nope.
So they're doing it. It's not a 2-year. Wait, was it released last year?
October.
Yeah.
Okay, so then it's a 2-year release cycle now.
Yeah.
They're making it official.
Well, it depends on when in 2019.
I
So,
mean, they're saying 2019, but there's nothing confirmed. We just know there's not one this year.
yeah, and that's good. I think
Mhm.
taking more time, let it be a bigger game. There's really no reason to make it a yearly thing, and you could tell when they started to get really rushed. You'd start seeing reused assets and
Yep.
a lot of this, storylines that just didn't mean anything.
But with this Greece one, I think we might see a lot of some of the same things from Assassin's 2 start popping back up a little bit.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
maybe some of that.
It took place in Italy and Rome and that kind of area, so we'll see probably a lot of the similarities.
Yeah, Constantinople too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is Revelations. I love Assassin's Creed. So that.
We're getting him again.
Yeah, Brandon.
Whenever
Brandon again.
See, it's whenever we start into the subject, then we can take it over.
Right.
It's all a test. I know. That's what he's doing.
Oh my gosh.
Brandon, our robot friend.
Is that really bad on you guys' end?
From time to time.
When we switch subjects.
It could be Discord.
It could be.
So,
maybe.
Let's just talk about Smash Bros.
Smash Bros. Yeah. I mean, we got Xbox saying they're going to allow Banjo to put in there if they like.
Please.
Do you think he's got to have Kazooie in the backpack, right?
No, it's just going to be him, no backpack. He's going to be like, he'll have nobody.
I hope he uses them as a weapon, like an implement of destruction.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
he does though, doesn't he?
I mean, in game.
Kazooie comes out and pecks people.
Yeah,
so,
there you go.
Yeah,
he's gonna peck Mario right in his eye.
Yeah, I need to play Banjo Kazooie in my Smash Bros.
Yeah.
The robot overlord is speaking again.
I think I've heard from other outlets that it's going to be a new game. By the way, I've been hearing more and more that it's going to be a new game.
Oh yeah, you know what? They probably have similar like underlying code and everything, and basic mechanics and stuff, like probably some logic and stuff that they use. But no, it's definitely going to be a new experience on the Switch. And if they're bringing in, as many new characters as it looks like, then I think that's, really possible. So we'll certainly check that out.
He's coming back in.
Yeah, we'll get Brandon back in any moment. Right now, I'm Brandon.
No, we're good. We're good.
We're back. It's still good. So also, Elder Scrolls Online getting an expansion. Now,
we talked about it before the.
Yeah. I dabbled a little bit. I wouldn't be what you call a fan, or a major player of it. But I've put in like 10 hours or so, and mainly enjoyed my time. But I still kept wishing that it was a single player experience. So what are you hearing about the Somerset Isle expansion, and what's that going to bring to it?
We'll put it this way. I played a little bit before Morrowind came out, and I really enjoyed it. So much so that I got to the end game, which all I did was solo. The whole thing was solo, and then I queued up for dungeons at the very end. I enjoyed my whole entire experience with it. I didn't get Morrowind because I thought the price tag was a little bit off at the time. But I haven't heard anything about Somerset, though. I mean,
okay.
I just want to put it that way because I don't think ESO is a bad game, for sure.
Okay.
I know we talked about it before this stream, and you said you played about 10 hours. 10 hours being a single player experience.
It's a drop in the bucket, for an MMO. So I get it. I've got experience with the mechanics. I think the game looks nice. I felt like it was a little repetitive, but that's early on, and maybe, I'm just curious to see if this new expansion is going to be giving me anything to come back to,
I see.
Put its hooks back in me. So, are we ready to try Robot Overlord again?
Is Robot Overlord back?
No,
it starts off good, and then
if it continues to be trash, I might just back out and let you guys finish it up.
Well, hopefully it doesn't come to that.
Yeah. Well, we do want more information on the Somerset Isles expansion if you have that.
Yeah,
I have no idea what you guys have already said, but it is coming out June 5th, which is really fast, and it is said to be larger than the area that was released for Morrowind expansion. So okay. I haven't played the game in a long time, but bigger is better. Bigger is always better, as they say. And for those who are new to the game, they're actually introducing a starting area for newbies to kind of learn all the mechanics and get acquainted with the game, which is, I think, it's pretty good because if I remember correctly, jumping into it, it's kind of not really new player friendly, if I remember right.
They make it very epic because I think when I started it was I ran around on some island and then it took me to this other island and then there was like this attack on the town by the Draymore, and we fought them off, and then it was like, well, now you go to this other island. So I would say it was very it certainly didn't give me like a sense of balance or a sense of like permanence, like where I was supposed to be. So I think it might be lacking that. So maybe this whole start area is going to give you more of a curated beginning, and maybe kind of show you off some of the features and some of the cool parts of the game. So not a bad game, just nothing very memorable for me.
But you can start whatever you want. That's the whole thing about ESO, is you can do whatever you can play however you want across any part of Tamriel, and you can level that way. Which of course WoW took that as well and tried to integrate it, but they didn't do so much. They kind of cut it off at points. But either way, ESO is very successful in that, and I thought that was a really good patch for them. That was back when I started again.
I think ESO is really big with people who like the Elder Scrolls series. If you want to be in that world, that's probably the MMO for you.
Yeah, I was really big into it, and I felt like it didn't really have a lot for me. Like, I was still really wanting that single-player experience, but I'm not going to beat a dead horse.
Yeah, we'll see.
But speaking of dead horses...
Dead horses?
Yeah.
Let's talk about EA.
Oh, man, they're the worst, right? Just the worst.
Surprisingly, they did something not totally evil this week.
EA, not bad?
No. They're still bad. They're still the worst. But they did something not evil. Think of like an Ebenezer Scrooge type of incident where, deep down they're really awful, rotten people, but they help someone out a little bit. In that case, it ends up being about 1 million players of Star Wars Battlefront 2. They are returning microtransactions.
Dun, dun, dun.
But only for cosmetics.
Yay!
And
everybody rejoice.
They unlocked every character and hero in the game, including all the hero ships. So, good on you, EA. Good on you.
Hats off to you, EA.
I don't know if you can sustain this before Satan returns to, and realizes someone's asleep at the wheel. But good. I'm glad to hear it. And I think the Star Wars fans and the players of Battlefront deserve.
The Reddit page took like a 180 turn. They're like, this game sucks. Hey, we're bringing back microtransaction only for cosmetics. We're putting a progression system in. No more star cards. Blah blah blah. And people are like, "Oh, bought the game. Oh, hey, I'm buying the game now. I also bought the game now."
Yeah.
So,
this is the good press that I think that they need. In addition, this is how it should be. There should never be microtransactions for pay to win. That's not how it should have gone. So, good on EA. I'm going to give it a try. I've got it. I didn't really love my first foray into it, but I'll see what happens. Now that I know I can play any hero, that's cool.
Did they bring down the price at all?
$29 on Origin.
Yeah, it's been settled and stuff a lot, so that's probably where it's going to stay.
It's even cheaper than that. So $29 is the Elite Enhanced Edition or whatever.
Oh my, 80 bucks back.
Yeah, well, it's $29.99 now. So I would assume maybe the basic game is probably even less. I didn't see that one, but at $30, there's a lot of nice benefits you get for that.
It's a pretty decent pickup. The graphics are incredible.
Oh, they're beautiful.
I think the Starship play is also fantastic. Plays really well. So yeah, they're doing good things for a game that has pretty good gameplay. The shooting's good. There's some balance issues right now with they're not changing.
The heroes are very different, very very different, and you've got some like sneaker ones, like stealth based, and you've got some all out assault, and of course Jedi. So a lot of different things going on there, but yeah, really cool, really cool.
I'm hoping that they do this the right way, and it brings some enjoyment from the game.
Yeah.
And this might be because Disney was talking about maybe taking away the rights to the Star Wars franchise from them and stuff.
It could be, and you never know what goes on behind the scenes, and maybe it's just a sign of the apocalypse.
It could be.
Because there was another sign of the apocalypse. Ninja was playing Fortnite with Drake on Twitch.
Yep.
And not only broke Doc/Tyler1's viewership record that they were kind of disputing, which was around 380. Yeah, they destroyed it. It was over 500,000 viewers at one time watching Drake and Ninja play Fortnite together. I did not watch it. I kind of wish I had. I found out about the next day after. Did you guys watch? Is Drake any good?
I only heard about it as well the next day after, and I haven't actually gone back and watched the VOD yet. But yeah, I think they played with another famous rapper, Travis Scott, and yeah. So I think Ninja right now is probably the largest streamer.
Oh,
right
easily,
now.
yeah.
I just heard some other facts about that specific stream. Is he got 90,000 subscribers
From that?
Well, he has 90,000 total.
No, he announced that he had 100,000 a week ago.
Oh, so yeah, probably from that then, or something like that.
Well, it was before that occurred. He announced
okay.
he was up over 100,000, which makes him basically, before his split with Twitch, he's making $500,000 a month.
Yeah, there it is, right there. Yeah,
that's not counting. That's just in subs, right?
Yeah,
just
he's making about 250,000.
It's not ad rev. That's not
Mm-hmm.
their donations.
Yeah, and he's entertaining to watch. I've got him followed. I watch. I'm not a subscriber. I don't think he really needs it. I don't think he'll cry if I don't. But he's entertaining enough to watch, and I'll watch him on the off time. I discovered him like a lot of people after Doc went off the air, and apparently he was another CS:GO guy that made the jump and has found a lot of success with Fortnite. So it's great to see these kind of stories.
Yeah, I heard that how the streamers always bring up like Twitch Prime, to remind people to subscribe. I heard like there'd be so many people use Twitch Prime at one time, the chat would like stutter and like freeze because there's he was having so many notifications pop through at one time of like the same, like the subscriber after subscriber.
Yeah, so I believe it. And some of the popular streamers are like that. You just see them like one after the other. I know Lyric gets a lot of that too, where people are either announcing their resub or whatever else. So,
but how do you get Drake on Fortnite? That's what I want to know. Is it
Twitter?
It's got to be the marketing team for Fortnite.
I don't know. Ninja was probably big in Fortnite or something. I'm not really not in the know of Fortnite.
No, Drake follows Ninja.
There you go.
That's what it is.
Yeah,
okay.
And yeah, it was known that Drake followed him. Like he subscribed and did the follow. And I guess Ninja invited him, said, "Hey, if you ever want to come play, you can." Like I don't think he's in chat, but there was kind of like a, "Hey, if you ever want to play," and there you go. It was big news for both of them. Bit of a publicity stunt, but hey, pretty cool.
It works out.
I'm not a big Drake guy. Yeah.
Fortnite is surprisingly very popular outside of the gaming sphere, and I think we've talked about that before.
Yeah, well, they're bringing a lot of people to Fortnite, including everyone's favorite YouTube guy.
Who would that be?
Favorite?
Who would that be?
Jake Paul.
Oh.
Is bringing his thing to Fortnite. I don't know what it's going to be like. He and his brother kind of people they're in a video. I won't be watching that. So, but that's the demographic, right? So Jake could end up becoming the #1 streamer for Fortnite.
He could. Yeah.
It could certainly happen, and that will be yet another sign of the apocalypse. So, be on the lookout for Raining Frogs. Let's get back to something that happens a lot more often. Andrew, do you want to cover the next?
Your transitions are on point today, I have to say, man. So what Rob is referring to is that more Bungie updates are being pushed out on their roadmap. So they updated the roadmap in January, then February, and then now recently in March. So what we're looking at is a couple more things being pushed out. One being the mod system that needed to be done and needs to be done sooner rather than later. But of course, with how complicated it can be, I'm sure that they're working on it. And that's what I want. I think that's what most people from Destiny want now, is just for them to take their time, get all of their stuff together, and release proper patches so that we get the game that we want eventually.
With the rumors of the Division 2 coming out, they're probably kind of on a timeline of getting this game back on track before they lose everything to another game.
I mean, hence the actual roadmap itself. That's got to be one of the combating things, because we want to know exactly when that stuff's coming out. So I would really like to see, to be honest, a timeline after the DLC, basically. So when DLC comes out, I would like another roadmap for the next expansion. That'd be nice.
because we're wrapping up season 3 next week, or season 2 next week, and then season 3 updates will kind of commence from there. But they've pushed things beyond what they revealed for season 3, so we're getting to the end of that roadmap pretty quick. And while they have implemented a lot of things, it's been nice. I don't know if they've really been game changing. You know, when I look through and I see like, you know, Crucible emblem variants, fire team members on destination map, you know, these things aren't necessarily jumping out at me as like amazing things. They're good quality of life improvements, but you know, maybe it just needed more time to bake before they released it. You know,
some recent things is the Nightfall stuff, and then the next week is going to be Nightfall rewards, I believe.
Right.
Specific awards, which is what we had in Destiny 1, which is nice. But you know, 6v6, that's going to be very nice for the PvP players. And okay, so what a lot of people, I've been still playing Destiny, and I've been hearing from the hardcore of the hardcore people that are still with it, is that when they make the update to make everything faster, like the pace faster, I think we're going to see a lot of change for just in general enjoyment of when you're playing Destiny. I'm now faster. Mobility actually works the way I want it to, and it feels good. So if the game feels good, keep playing it, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see.
And I think the gameplay is
yeah.
still good.
Yeah.
And I've enjoyed what time I did spend with Destiny, but you know, I have a budget of time in a week to spend, and you know, Destiny just didn't really feel like I need to put more time into it, you know. But we'll see. But unfortunately, it sounds like a lot of things that I was curious to see are going to be, you know, a little bit further down the road. So hopefully they, you know, roll it out in a time frame that allows them to, you know, keep going. So we'll see.
The last thing I'm going to say about it is when the expansion comes out, it will be fantastic again.
Hopefully.
Yep. Wife in the background, walking around, saying hi.
Hey, Liz.
Hi.
There we go. We needed that. Okay, so go ahead.
So, yeah, so we've got some other games that are vying for that time, and some of them are starting to make themselves a little bit more available.
Oh, yeah. So
everyone's got a phone, right?
we talked last week about good old Fortnite on mobile and how that might be the next big thing. Well, guess what broke shortly after that? PUBG's like, hey, we're now on mobile too. So now the two big, PC BR, I don't know what you call it. They're clashing on the PC. They're also clashing on mobile now. And I actually got an invite, thanks to one of the members in PixelPub, to play the Fortnite invite-only game. So I'm probably gonna try both of them out and see which one plays better on mobile, and let you guys know how that goes.
Cool. And you've played both of the other ones like on PC, right?
Yeah,
I know you played
on
PUBG. Cool. So you'll have a good foundation to compare them then.
Now, I have a feeling Fortnite's probably going to work better because it's not as complex as PUBG in terms of gunplay. So, but we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, I watched the stream of it. I forgot who it was that was streaming it. It might have been Ninja or Doc was showing it off on mobile, and it looked pretty decent. Actually, you know what it was? It was Swiftor was playing on his iPad Pro, and it didn't look too bad. And you get a little bit of an aim assist, so that kind of helps out a bit.
It is in the free category, so I think it's free completely.
Couldn't tell you, but I'd be surprised if they were charging for that, given that they make their money from the cosmetic options.
Right. I know Fortnite.
They would
Fortnite
still be charging.
will be free.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean PUBG? Yeah, I don't know.
PUBG. Yeah.
I don't know, because I know PUBG. I think it's still $30 on Steam and stuff. So but I do know for sure PUBG is free in the free category on the phone. I'm not sure if you have to log in with the Steam account or something maybe to play it.
I'd be surprised if there's no way they're charging $30 for a mobile game that's going to compete. So they may just have to come out free just to compete with Fortnite, and
probably
it's where it's going, right? So that's pretty cool.
It already runs like crap on PC, so I'm looking forward to see how crappy it runs on my phone.
Well, you can count the frames per second.
Probably.
1,
oh, look at that frame. That's a great frame right there. Oh, man. But tell me about some things that I can also count.
So in addition to gaming news, I read the Wall Street Journal as well, and
Sophisticated man.
yeah, and I read their gaming section. So, and they actually have a pretty comprehensive gaming area, and they were talking about some transactions that occurred recently. So you may have heard that Ubisoft was fighting off a what they call like an aggressive takeover or a
buyout.
Buyout from Vivendi, but Vivendi actually ended up divesting, and they were either required or for liquidity standpoint, they're selling off of everything that they own in Ubisoft. So before, Vivendi was trying to take over and have voting rights in Ubisoft, and now that's no longer the case. And it's been kind of interesting to see who's been buying it up. So Ubisoft made most of the purchase back, so they have yet again another majority control of the decision. So they've got the board of directors, and they can say we're making more Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah,
exactly. But surprisingly, Tencent also bought 5%. And that is typical for them because they have been buying Western games and Western gaming companies. Do you know who else Tencent owns? What other games and publishers?
Nope. Enlighten us.
They own not only Fortnite, but they own Epic Games, and they own PUBG.
Huh.
Which I was surprised to learn that the two biggest games in terms of like streaming and engagement and stuff are actually owned by the same company. But they own tons of development companies around the world, and they're just acquiring them more and more. So wouldn't be surprised to see Ubisoft maybe getting that Battle Royale.
Maybe.
Yeah, we could see.
I could see it.
Which is basically the Division.
Basically.
I would see. I think the Division will have a battle royale type mode with this next iteration. But yeah, I think
every game's gonna have it.
Yeah, going forward, I believe so. I think even Call of Duty, going to eat off of it some way.
Definitely.
But I remember reading about Vivendi a couple years ago, and another company I think bought themselves out of their shares. I want to say it's maybe Activision or something. Activision Blizzard maybe bought themselves out of that, and they're solely owned now.
Could be. Yeah, Vivendi was always they were also part of Sierra, so they own like those King's Quest games and all that sort of thing. So they purchased development companies and stuff like that, but they made their money doing the original publishing, and they're a French company similar to Ubisoft, so they were in that neck of the woods already.
I think it's good whenever these development companies are not owned by some other bigger company who kind of pulling the strings. I think they're able to do more of what's best for the gamer if they're making their own decisions and not making it for money.
Tencent owns way more than that. You can take a look, and they own tons of games, and especially ones that are very popular in China and Japan and Korea. So a lot to look out there, but just keep Tencent in the back of your mind as a big player, because I had no idea just how big they were until now.
Surprising. But I do want to hear about this other game that's been taking over Twitch a little bit.
Yeah. So kind of creeping around the Sea of Thieves, in the kind of the dark corners and alleyways in the back of Twitch.
If you're not watching
Vermintide,
if you're not watching PUBG or Fortnite or Sea of Thieves, you're probably watching this.
Yeah. So Vermintide 2, a game that I ignored the original one of because Andrew told me it was really good and I should play it. So of course I didn't start playing it. But I was watching people I trust, which is Twitch streamers, and they were telling me how good Vermintide 2 was.
I mean, so many digs right now. This is like I don't even trust my games, man.
You're like, Rob, this game's really nice. You should buy it.
All right.
So I decided I was watching, and I just, it's one of those things like, man, there's a whole bunch of action going on. Really couldn't get my bearings. But what it reminded me of was Left 4 Dead, a game I used to play quite a bit on Xbox and PC. So loved Left 4 Dead, and essentially just saw, well, this is kind of the same thing, except there is also loot and progression. So your characters get better, you get more armor, new weapons, that sort of thing, and you can unlock cosmetics too. So your character can actually go, like I was playing kind of the ninja elf lady, and she starts off with kind of like a ranger type of look, but then they have like a legit ninja outfit as you go further along with these like glowing eyes and stuff. Is really cool looking. So In addition, they also put a lot of time into some of the background chatter. So you can talk over Discord with your teammates. But in the game, the party characters will actually talk about each other's performance and how that's all going. So it's actually pretty good. They're pretty humorous with it, and they'll even say like, "Oh, Carillion, the elf, like is on a killing streak. Like she's outdoing us all. We got to catch up." So they actually keep going and have a lot of back and forth, which I think is pretty cool.
As you're talking in Discord, is that you're saying?
It's probably, he probably just means like the characters also talk to themselves.
Yeah,
I think which they also did in Left 4 Dead.
They definitely did, but they do it to a much higher degree in this one. So if you think about like in Mass Effect, when you used to get on an elevator and your party characters would talk to each other, it's like that. So you would say like, "Oh, I found a potion" or something. They'd be like, "Oh, don't waste it," or like they'll just like kind of banter back and forth. So pretty cool in that way.
This system is probably something that Sea of Thieves should adapt to in terms of progression and kind of depth, while also being a 4-player game that you jump into for fun.
Yep. Yeah. I really dug it. It's inexpensive too. It's an under $30 game, so it won't be too long before Angel will be able to get at that sweet spot of 20.
30.
Hey, I got my price points.
Yep. So I'm giving it 8 out of 10 because it's cool,
Nice.
It's fun, the graphics are nice, and there's a lot of replayability to it. Even though you are fighting just wave and wave of rats, there are bosses, and these bosses are huge, and they take a lot to take down. So there's certainly some. It kind of reminds me of WoW in a lot of ways in terms of how to take down the boss characters that come out. Yeah, don't stand in the fire, don't stand in the poop. So a lot of that.
Don't stand in the poop.
Yeah. Well, that's what we used to say. Don't stay in the poop.
Did you happen to see the Twitch integration?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
So I should probably mention that too. So you can actually link it to your Twitch. And I'm not a streamer, but if I was, apparently I can do it in such a way where people can vote on what's going to actually happen in the game, like whether or not I get like I find loot, or if I get like an extra bad monster coming in.
Yeah.
So essentially, awesome. They get to kind of dictate like what goes on. So not a streamer, don't have that kind of integration, but was really cool to see. I saw Ko kind of get taken down a little bit by his chat.
And of course, you can be on the other side. You can be in Twitch chat watching your favorite streamer and balancing the votes. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That is a cool feature for a.
That's a very cool feature.
A very cool feature for games, and hopefully we'll see some more stuff like that. And in terms of games like that, maybe I don't want that in like my single player game, but I would like to see that in games where it's going to have high Twitch numbers, and you're gonna have a lot of replayability without any consequences or anything.
Yeah, I want to see more games like this. It kind of reminded me of Doom, like multiplayer Doom in a little way. So, but also given the light RPG elements, and some of the different settings. So yeah, check it out. Watch it on Twitch, see what you think. It's not an expensive game to take the plunge in. So
I might actually check that out because a lot of the Batman Majama community has been up in there playing it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, if you got people that are playing it, then I think that's the way to experience. Find some other like-minded people. But the community's been cool too. I logged in, said, "Hey, it's my first game," and they were like, "Hey, you're doing pretty good. You can stick around, and we can do more of these." So, pretty easygoing it seemed.
It's good. It's what we need. Gamers embrace each other. Don't be like these MOBA communities where it's all trash talk. But yeah, so a lot of good stuff this week. A lot of cool games out. But we don't have a lot to talk about in terms of movies and stuff. But if you guys like the DC universe, which probably a lot of people don't, very.
Come on.
It depends on which we're talking about here.
It's for the current DC universe.
Oh, you mean that abomination? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
It's very bad. I think right now the Justice League is the lowest grossing DC movie of all time right now.
No, that can't be. That can't be. It's definitely the worst DC movie of all time. But it made like 800 million. Like it's made its money.
Hopefully this movie, the Batman that will be going into production in 2019, will maybe turn things around. Because
going into production in 2019, that's a ways off. So we won't see that till 2020, 2021.
Probably, but
Any
hopefully,
word on who it's gonna star, or
I mean, it could be our current Batman, or we could have maybe a reboot happen. But
I can't wait to see the origin story the 15th time over.
But see, they'll
spoiler,
probably
his
skip
parents
that this
get
time.
killed in an alley.
But there,
Bats
you
are
know,
involved.
if you guys are, I know Rob, we're all agree on this. The Flashpoint series is kind of a big kicker. And I think that has been talked about a lot, where maybe DC does this Flashpoint thing and kind of scraps all the bad things that are going on and kind of soft
3 movies
reboots
in,
this in
they're just gonna scrap.
soft reboot with a Flashpoint situation, and like maybe we'll have the Batman from the Flashpoint series, where it's was it Thomas Wayne? He's the Batman in Flashpoint.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Flashpoint's got alternate realities and kind of they kind of got to cherry pick all the stuff they wanted and brought them together. But I'll just say it like this, and this is my opinion on the DC universe as it stands right now. They saw what Marvel was doing and said, that's really cool. We want to do the exact same thing without earning it. And that's been proven out. So, Marvel had to, they messed up bad. Their first movies were not great. I mean, Iron Man was awesome, but that Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton was not very well received.
Right.
They had another one before that. I'm trying to remember exactly which one it was, but also not very well received.
Thor.
And then, Thor was
later.
I liked Thor, but it was also kind of a stumbling block, and it took time for them to build this universe and to really grow it. And DC goes, well, we're going to come out with a Superman movie, and then we're going to do Batman and Superman, and then we're going to do everybody, whether you like it or not. And
I have to say, Wonder Woman was I think a really good movie.
Right. It was really good because I don't think it got interfered and meddled with as much as the Batman v Superman or even the Justice League. I mean, Justice League is 2 movies that crashed into each other, and Batman is basically 3 movies that they took all the worst parts in and made it 1 movie.
Is this the actual next DC film, or is there going to be another DC film like Aquaman? Right, it's gonna come out. Still,
Aquaman's
right?
still coming out before that.
Okay.
I think we're going to see another Suicide Squad.
Another one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, just not earned. They got big names and they've got directors that have done things, but I'm not excited about any of this stuff. And I love these characters.
I want to see good, solid, standalone things. And if they can stand good by themselves, then you can build their stuff up. But
yeah, I'd like to see another Wonder Woman because it was a good movie. It wasn't the earth-shattering best movie of all time that people have said, Oscar-worthy performance or anything. Right. I thought it was okay. Some of the special effects were cheesy, but I thought it was good enough to be a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
So that's the praise I'd give it. I'd like to see Batman, though?
What?
Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
And the reason I like to see that, a little bit of a transition. I didn't mean to cut you off, Brandon, so we can get back to what you wanted to talk about. But Peter Dinklage, also known as Tyrion of Game of Thrones, was confirmed this past week to be in Avengers Infinity War, which is news to a lot of people because no one realized he was going to be in there. They saw it on the poster, and there he is. Now, he's been in X-Men movies before, so this is kind of he hasn't been part of the Marvel one. So everyone's kind of wondering, who is he going to be? So on Reddit, they think he might be one of the Black Order, which is Thanos' elite warriors. But I haven't seen any footage of that or anything to lead me to believe it.
Right.
But at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, they had a little teaser at the end where they were talking about Adam Warlock. You might remember the golden cocoon. And they said, they were like, who is that? And they're like, that's Adam. Well, Adam Warlock being one of the major players in the Infinity War. Well, one of his buddies is Pip the Troll. Pip the Troll is basically a 4-foot character that is like Wolverine with no superpowers. Like he just smokes and drinks and curses and is kind of a humorous character.
Right. So someone say he is Peter Dinklage.
Basically. So they may not like it because of its, kind of typecasting. They're going with, a short character being played, by him again. But Pip the Troll is a cool character. And it's my dream that that's who it actually is. If it ends up being one of Thanos' Black Order, okay, great. I'm glad he got in. But I think he could really be a fan favorite and steal the movie as Pip the Troll.
We'll see. Maybe he might be one of the things that tie into Avengers 4, because I have a feeling that this Avengers will have a very big, open-ended ending to tie into the next Avengers.
I agree. So one last thing that you might think that this might be the case: Pip the Troll is also married to a character on Guardians of the Galaxy. Gamora, the most dangerous woman alive, was either his current wife or an ex-wife.
Huh.
Yeah. So it's not like it would be totally out of left field to have Pip the Troll in the movie. So I'm gonna stop with my Pip the Troll.
Rob with the analysis here. Like, you could put that in like a 2-minute thing and put it in a video on Reddit and be like, "Wow, this guy knows."
This guy knows his Pip the Troll.
Yeah, he knows it.
Pip the Troll is awesome, and anyone that doesn't know who he is, Wikipedia it at least, and look up those cool videos and comics with him in it.
Cool. And we're about to jump in the comics and 20 questions, but before that, I wanted to give you an update on the Amazon Lord of the Rings series, and they are reporting they're going to spend $500 million collectively on the first 2 seasons of the show.
How many episodes are in the seasons?
I don't think they have confirmed that yet, but I have a feeling it's probably going to be similar to Game of Thrones, which maybe like 10, maybe.
See, Game of Thrones has a budget of around $10 million an episode.
Mm-hmm.
So they spend about $100 million a season. Yeah. I think it may have grown a little bit past that, but $500 million is crazy. But you know what? Amazon got that money, so why not?
It is Lord of the Rings too, and that's it's a big title to work with.
I feel like it's better to not have the money though, because the original Lord of the Rings trilogy back in the late 90s, early 2000s, yeah, well, it was over a 3-year period, but they made it with not a whole lot of money. Like they had to be very frugal with what they spent their money on. Like those CGI scenes outside of Helm's Deep still look good today.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
And that's tough, to make that happen. Whereas if you watch The Hobbit, you swear that one was made before, because the CGI in that can be terrible at times.
If you watch in that last one. Yeah. It almost did the same thing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I don't know. $500 million. I hope it's well spent. I'm looking forward to it. I'll certainly watch it. But if you want to watch another series that does it on the cheap, the Tick just wrapped up, and it's
still plugging it.
They made that for $100. I swear.
I think I will start watching the Tick tomorrow.
Okay, you won't stop watching it.
Okay. Right,
that'd be my challenge to you. Watch it all and enjoy it. I think the whole thing would take you not even 4 hours to watch.
Can we put in perspective what was Game of Thrones budget? I'm just
I think they're like 10 to 15 per episode.
Per episode, okay.
Yeah, so they're probably about 100 to 150 million a year.
Okay.
So this would be double to triple.
That's crazy.
It's the 2 seasons, so it's a 250.
Yeah, still double to triple
a season. So
okay.
Yes. I don't know. Was that between the episodes? I don't.
We're gonna fail on math here, but let's just say it's between twice as much and 3 times as much.
It's between this number and this number. It's really big.
Sure.
But, put it in perspective for the people, though. Yeah.
Now I am very curious to hear about this comic that Rob read.
Yeah. So I was I'm actually still reading The Unwritten, the one that I reviewed 2 weeks ago. I actually went back to it. I'm still reading it. I'm about 40 issues in. So it took some time. But I did break away and cover an old classic, and one that, if you haven't heard of it, I think it's one that you would do very well to pick up. And that is The Fables from 2002. The first series.
Fable. This is Fables.
This is Fables. Yes, very different than Fable. But maybe not so much. So Fables is essentially a story about characters from your fables that you grew up knowing, Snow White, Big Bad Wolf, that sort of thing. And they've been exiled from their fairy tale realms to Earth. So they're actually hiding out in New York City, and they're using some degree of magic to kind of hide their giant tower in which they all live. And while that sounds a little silly, they're able to explain it in such a way that it makes sense. So So what happens when you get these super powered people from different fairy tales? They have the ability to, to enchant men, or to, to turn themselves invisible, or to become creatures. How do you manage that kind of thing? So they have a sheriff, and the sheriff is Big B Wolf. And it's kind of play on Big Bad Wolf. And he basically keeps everyone in line. And the story that they start off with is Snow White's sister, Rose Red, has been found murdered, apparently. And it's up to Big B Wolf to figure out who murdered her. The death of a fable is considered extremely rare, because their lifespan is basically how long people keep reading their stories. So for one to die early on is very, very unique. So you can think of it in a similar way that, everyone knows Snow White from the Disney movies. So Snow White's a very powerful character in the stories. So it's got a lot of that. It's a bit of a mature title, but nothing that I would say you'd be embarrassed to read, or, would be offensive to anyone. It's just mature in the sense of having that understanding of interplay between characters, and maybe some of the language might be, a little PG-13, R-rated in that way. One of the cool things that they do, though, is they have arcs that are usually around 5 issues, and every time they have a new arc start, it'll be a totally different genre. So the first one starts off as a murder mystery. Rose Red is being murdered, but then it'll go into like an action story, or like a heist. And they'll keep changing these different genres to kind of match different areas. And they've got over 150 issues in which they ended, so it is a finite series. So
do they bring back other characters on the arcs?
Oh yeah, there are so many characters. There are, every fable character you can think of. Like the sour grapes, like Aesop's Fables, Ichabod Crane from Sleepy Hollow. You've got Bluebeard, the pirate.
Bluebeard. Okay.
Yeah, there is. There are fables you've never heard of. So I bring this up because it does have a bit of a tie-in to another series I really enjoy on PC called The Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us, yeah.
And you may have heard of that. And that is based off of this series. So if you are a fan of The Wolf Among Us, good news. There's 150 issues of comics just like that you can go read. So check it out. They have amazing art. The storyline is, top notch. It is basically the best of what comics have to offer, from the, beautiful full painted covers to the art is just, meticulous and very detailed all the way through. It gets a 10 out of 10 for me. It is my favorite comic series.
Is that the highest rated so far?
It's got to be up there with Unwritten. I think I gave Unwritten 9.5.
Yeah.
Nice.
But both of those are just such an amazing one. And believe it or not, they actually have a crossover towards the end of their series, in which they're both in the same ones. So
what is this, a crossover episode? Wow.
Sounds like it, right? So I figure I'd go ahead and bring that back in, circle around. But if you're a comics fan, you've already heard of Fables. If you're getting into comics, great entry point, great place to start.
Wouldn't everything be downhill from there?
It would take you a while to get through there, but at least you know what good looks like. And you can kind of make your decision off of there. And it may not be everyone's cup of tea. You may want more action. You may want some more gore. You might want something more, maybe faster pace. But if you want like top-notch storytelling and beautiful art, this is where you go.
I do love hearing the comic stuff from Rob every week.
Yeah. And it's also a plug for Wolf Among Us, which I played the first season of. And then after that, it took a long time to get the other seasons out, so I didn't really play the rest of it. But
they're not,
I remember
they're not out yet.
They're not out yet. Wow.
No,
okay, so I remember
just the first one.
I remember the first season being very good, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Did you figure out the twist at the end? Like,
it's
do
been
you think
a long
you saved
time.
her?
It's been a very long time.
Yeah, I won't give the spoiler, but you believe someone to have been killed, and then you're not really sure, did that person die after all?
Yeah.
But great series, a lot of fun. Yeah, twists all over the place.
So it's also time for our is it a tradition? I think it's a tradition now that our
we can call it tradition.
our 20 questions, and this week we are graced with Andrew, I believe.
Graced because because I give games that people can actually guess.
And I'll make the weekly Conflict Desert Storm joke.
There it is. There it is.
It is Conflict
If
Desert
it's that,
Storm.
you have to tell us now.
Thank you, everybody.
We may actually have Jared come back once, Rob, because I know Rob will be on.
I'll be
soon.
taking a little bit of a sabbatical for a week. I'll be visiting folks on the West Coast, and not to mess up the recording schedule, I'm gonna probably be dipping out for a week. So that'd be great to have Jared come back.
Get Jared to come in and fill in, maybe. So,
Oh, that'd be awesome. I'm just jealous I don't get to be here for it.
But so yeah, let's. I hope Andrew's got a game in mind that we can go ahead and start getting.
I'm just gonna change it at question 19. It's fine.
19.
No, I got a game.
Okay.
Go for it.
All right. Well.
Yeah, I'm gonna start off a little different this week because I feel like I'm kind of on to Andrew a little bit.
You're on Andrew. All right. All right.
Is this
really
on a Nintendo platform?
No.
Okay. I've screwed up. I've made a terrible mistake.
The trail has been thrown.
I'm totally ruined. No.
All right,
So okay, but that's huge because he always
Always.
Nintendo fanboy over here.
yeah.
So let's do.
Azure Striker.
Let's do.
How did you
at least
know?
after 2000.
Was it released after 2000? Yes, it was released after 2000.
Okay. Was it released after 2010?
No.
Okay. So we're in our sweet spot decade.
We're in a good
Is it
we
the
got
sweet spot?
PS2, PS3. We got Xbox 360.
We have everything except pretty much what's out right now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was
Let's try to
this-
narrow it down by console, huh?
Sure. Oh, maybe we should get like a generation of consoles.
Hey, go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah. Is this before 2005?
It's before 2005.
Okay.
So we're looking at like Xbox, PlayStation 2.
Yep, you're hearing it, chat, between 2000 and 2005. So this puts us in Dreamcast territory, GameCube, well, not GameCube, PS2, and
GameCube. Yeah,
Xbox.
GameCube's in there.
Yeah, but he says it's not on Nintendo platforms.
Oh, well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. So,
And PC.
NPC. Oh, of course. Can't forget PC. Let's, maybe we need to figure out kind of game it is.
Well, we can do that. Well, go ahead. What do you think?
So what was big? FPS is pretty big in that time period.
Yeah, I agree.
Was it an FPS?
No.
Okay.
I still feel like I want to nail down the console. So,
Sure, yeah.
was this on PS2?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I should have asked if it was exclusively on PS2.
That would have been a good question.
Well, so now we know it was at least on PS2. We don't know if it was on other ones as well. So let's just ask, was it multi-platform?
It was not multi-platform.
There you
Okay,
go.
good. So all we have is the 10 billion different PlayStation 2 games to pick from.
Yes.
So what we got? We have like what the God of War series. We've had.
Oh, we got so much.
Yeah.
Now we can start talking genres. I think it's on PS2. So what do you think?
Let's see here. We had, if it's not first person, we had those big, like I was saying, God of War, Jack and Dexter, those big like third person adventure game type deals. We had some racing games.
Yeah.
Let's see. What else was big with PS2?
Let's find out. So, Andrew, was this a RPG?
Yes. It's an RPG.
Okay.
Okay. And primarily an RPG, right? Not just like RPG elements, but like it would be considered an RPG.
This is
Is that a
Well,
that
that's
a
what
question?
I'm asking for the clarification. Like, if I say is it an RPG, that means it's primarily described as an RPG.
do you because okay. It is not primarily described as an RPG. It is part RPG.
Okay. I think that's
it's clarification. I'm not gonna count that. I guess yeah.
okay. So kind of you. So kind.
Yeah.
So what do they mix with RPGs?
They mix
Action RPG, hack and slash RPG,
seconds.
racing RPG.
Probably not on PS2.
They mix Japanese in RPG.
Oh yeah, there's those. There's the Final Fantasy. Lots of Final Fantasies.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So if we're to consider this like a RPG hybrid, would the other part be action?
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Yes, it's an action role playing game.
Okay. Okay. Very well. Very well.
So we're definitely thinking some probably medieval things going on here. Not a lot of sci-fi RPGs, I don't think. On
Well, you never know. I mean, it's before the Mass Effect times, but I would consider Mass Effect an action RPG.
Yeah.
Right. I think that'd be fair to say. So,
Yeah.
you could be talking about. Well, I don't think Jade Empire was on there, but
No, that was Xbox exclusive.
Yeah, was it KOTOR 2?
Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see, an action RPG on the PS2. So we roll
Let's
out
try to
games
find
like
out a
God
little
of
bit.
War and stuff.
Yeah, let's try to find out maybe a little bit more. So, Andrew, was this set in medieval times?
No, I'm gonna say no.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe we need to find out the character, your main character.
That could be
But
helpful.
RPG though, you could make your own character.
That's 10 questions, by the way.
Yeah. Well, we said no medieval, so we're either talking kind of futuristic or maybe alien. You know, you got some space going on.
Maybe we need to see if there's
maybe present day.
Some character customization.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, is there character customization? Can I create my character or change the way my character
Like that?
looks?
That's what I was referencing. Are you, because that's a broad question. Are you saying create your
Like
character?
I'm not counting like changing my coat, like my hat or my shirt. I mean, like in terms of
Can
like
he make the character look like
physical
himself?
appearance. Yeah, changing my physical.
There is no
appearance.
character creator. Is that
Okay. Is this crossed over with Disney?
This is not crossed over with Disney.
Okay.
I
So it
know what
takes
you were
on
trying to go
Kingdom
for
Hearts.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes
yeah.
on Kingdom Hearts.
Would you consider Kingdom Hearts RPG?
Definitely.
Yes.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah,
Action
RPG
role
for
playing.
sure.
Yep. Yep.
And even though it had medieval times, it wasn't in medieval times. So
This is true.
yeah. All right. So
Let's see. So no character.
not medieval.
creation. So action RPG.
And when we say medieval, I guess we mean like that kind of aesthetic. So you did take that into account. Like if we were to say like, I know Morrowind wasn't on it, but let's say we were talking Morrowind, like that would be kind of considered in that similar.
Absolutely. Yeah,
Okay.
It's definitely medieval. Yeah.
Okay.
My eyes.
So maybe what is it? Mad Max? Mad Max in there? Not Mad Max. Max Payne. Max Payne.
I don't know if I consider that an RPG though.
Okay.
Definitely not. Definitely the action side, but not the RPG side. You do
I've
collect
really
some
played
loot
much of
though.
this.
Yeah. Cool game. I don't remember if it was on PS2 or not. I know it was on Xbox and PC, but it was only on PS2.
Some other Deus Ex was that a
Deus Ex
PS2
was
title?
definitely multi-platform. So remember, we're talking about a PS2 exclusive.
That's right, exclusive. That's true.
Yeah. So only on the one.
Or yeah.
Yeah. So an action RPG. Okay, well let's just try to narrow this down a little bit more. So, would you say that the setting for this game is futuristic? And for those people watching from home, you can see him nod his head, which I think means yes.
Well, no, I'm really thinking. I'm honestly really thinking about this because
For those listening.
I can
Right.
I can either say yes and then I have to clarify, or say no and have to clarify. So I might just have to clarify.
Okay.
I
I
in
think
this
that's
case,
where we are.
in this case, I think it's a steampunk era.
Ooh.
So it's not future and it's not historical. It's steampunk.
Is that like Dark Cloud? It's kind of steampunk. I don't know if that'd be action.
Wait.
There's
Was this game? No, that was on some other title. Never mind.
so kind of steampunky. There was an Acronox, but that was on PC, as well.
Steampunky.
Oh, but steampunk, that's kind of cool. See, I was not into like a lot of steampunk games, but I always remember like kind of looking at them and thinking that'd be cool. And it's action RPG. So you're saying there's futuristic elements in the setting? Would that be fair to
Yes.
say?
Yes.
But not all futuristic.
Not all futuristic. No.
Okay. Would we say like it's got? I'm just gonna throw it out. Would there be prehistoric elements as well?
Like caveman, dinosaur.
Kind of like Chrono Trigger, yeah. I'm trying to figure out what the other part of it might
I
be.
honestly don't remember the entire storyline. I'm gonna say no for that.
Okay. Okay.
Was it like a western, like a Wild West type setting?
Well, it's
No.
futuristic. Okay, so
No.
it's not
It's not
Western.
kind of steampunk.
All right, we're probably getting pretty close on time, or on
15.
questions. We're on 15. Okay. So we can just kind of narrow this down. We got a futuristic-ish, steampunky action RPG on the PS2.
Only.
And I looked at chat, and all I see is Pepe the Frog.
And some thinking, some definitely thinking right there. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. It's exclusive to PS2, like you said before. Yeah, definitely action RPG, future elements, hence the steampunk, right?
Action RPG elements. I mean, are we talking? Maybe we should ask about the style, like if it's like cartoony, like a Jack and Daxter kind of thing.
Might help.
Yeah. So would you say it's got a cartoony aesthetic to it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So we might be talking like Jack and Daxter, or what's the other one?
Very,
Ratchet and
very
Clank?
stylized.
Is Jack and Dexter considered RPG or even steampunk?
Maybe Ratchet and Clank might be though, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really play those.
Those kind of feel like platformers to me in a way.
Action platformers, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because there's certainly the combat side of things.
Right.
But yeah, I can't even think about the And it's cartoony.
So much for the games that everybody always guesses.
You're right. It's definitely not Conflict Desert Storm though. I was holding out hope.
I don't know
but
if I can
don't
roll
think
that
it's
out just yet.
Yeah, we're getting close.
What's the sequel to that one again?
Denied Ops.
That's it right there. I got it. No, okay.
All right, let's see. Well, we got chat has totally given up on us.
You have four more. You have three more questions and a guess, so
Thanks,
you can
chat.
still get there. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's cartoony. I feel like Jack and Daxter might be. I mean, you do progress your weapons and stuff, right?
Is that a question?
No, I'm talking with Brandon.
I don't
Conferring
remember.
with my lawyer right now. It's
But
privileged
I don't-
communications.
that doesn't really, to me, doesn't fit steampunk. But I could be wrong on how open-ended steampunk can be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it feels very steampunk to me because of
That
the.
I mean, that has a companion character. Maybe we need to ask. if there's
Yeah.
a companion.
Yeah, let's do that because you can't
Yeah,
create
so-
your main character.
Is there a
So-
companion that follows you around?
A companion that follows you around.
Like it's like Jack and Dexter. You know, they're always together.
So
and Ratchet
that's
and
a
Clank.
very specific question. I'm gonna give it to you this way though, because I think this might help too. There are two protagonists.
Hey,
Oh, okay, that's helpful.
that is helpful.
It's not. He's
So-
not a follow. They're not following, but there are two
But you can-
protagonists.
So let me ask one more question: can you switch between the two protagonists?
Yes.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, like you can play one or the other depending
maybe
upon.
we probably should have phrased that. Can you swap between them at any time? Or
Oh, I not any time, but you can. You're playing you're playing both characters.
As you
at
play
different
through the game.
at different as you're playing through the game.
Oh man, I remember a game like this, but I don't remember. I can't even visualize like the.
it's hard for me to think of an RPG where you're not one character that you build.
Well, I mean, you could think of like Assassin's Creed Origins, how you switch between, Bayek and
Yeah, kinda. That's true.
his wife Ava is it
That's
Ava
true.
or Ada? And yeah, you kind of go back and forth. So it's similar in that way. I'm only thinking of like Resident Evil, where you do that. Like Resident
Yeah,
Evil, you can swap back
that's
and forth, and that's definitely not steampunk. And it's cartoony. So, and it's futuristic at times.
Kind of got me stumped.
Yeah, I think you might have us this week. But I hate to give up. But
Yeah,
I also don't.
two more questions.
Two more questions? Okay.
Well,
okay.
two more questions and a guess. So that's what
Okay,
I'm saying.
okay.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Then I'll give you hints. I want you to get this one because
All right.
you're like there. So
We're there.
you're there. Yeah.
So you can't switch between? Can you switch between Ratchet and Clank? Like, is there like some? Yeah, this is.
I think you play it, as the pair. I don't think we've said it yet.
No, I don't think we've said it. Let's see. So let's do it developers. So I mean, would we let's think about the different developers that make these kind of games. Would there be like interest in like maybe we could say it could be like Square, or we could ask if it's Naughty Dog, or if it's Insomniac, right? Aren't those like the three main studios for that?
Those are some big PS2 studios. Yeah.
Okay. So is it produced by Square?
Produced?
Developed by Square or published by Square?
Published by Square? No.
Okay. So that leaves us with. Yeah, that doesn't really help much.
I don't think it's somebody Naughty Dog. Naughty Dog's Jack and Dexter.
That's what I was thinking.
It's cartoony.
Mm-hmm.
Swapping between characters in the steampunk world. Where am I?
Yeah, I was thinking about that Sly Cooper. That's kind of in that vein
good.
too.
But
I wouldn't consider that an RPG. That's like a action stealth game. I'm stumped. I'll be honest with you. Why don't you throw one out there and see if it?
I'm trying to think of a good question maybe. To help narrow this down.
Maybe the type of lead character, like if it's human or if it's like male or female, or.
I feel like with two characters, it's probably male and female.
Okay, so maybe we try to narrow down whether or not it's like a human.
Yeah, I think
main characters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you another question because I'm honestly not sure if you can switch at any time. I don't remember between the two protagonists. So that way I did count that as a question. I'll give you another one because I'm not quite sure about that. Two protagonists.
So yeah, is our protagonist like? Are we human?
They're both human. They're both human, right?
Both human. Okay. And we're talking futuristic, cartoony.
So we probably have people that's not human, maybe just not the protagonist.
Yeah. Let's see. Do we? Let's just ask about the enemies. Maybe that might help. Do we fight humans?
Yes, you do. Yep.
I probably should ask if it was like exclusively humans or.
That's an odd thing.
Yeah.
Like you had to think about it. So it's probably a mixture.
Probably. Maybe we just guess Jack and Dexter. I keep coming back to that.
I mean, we have stuff to burn, I guess.
Actually,
no, that's it. It's the last question.
Is it?
Uh-oh.
No. Well,
Seems like we're flip-flopping.
I'm also not sure about the fighting here. Like, that's the thing. I remember fighting a lot of monsters, maybe not humans. So maybe you just fight monsters. Sorry.
But Jack and Dexter, who would be the other character we play as?
I have no idea. I don't know that series very well.
I don't think he plays anybody else except Jack.
Well, let's just guess because that's our last question. And
I'm going to give you hints.
I'm curious to hear
Music is amazing.
Okay.
If you ever know this. It's well received.
Well received. Okay.
And you already said it.
It's Jack and Dexter.
No.
Ratchet and Clank.
You already said it throughout your guesses. It's just
what?
So I had like Sly Cooper, we had Jack and Dexter, and we had
It's not Sly Cooper because there's not humans.
What's the other one? Oh, that's true.
Ratchet. We said Ratchet and Clank.
No.
We can switch. That's like an elf guy, right? Or that's
yeah, it's not humans.
No, Rob, you're the one that said it.
I'm the one that said it.
Yes, you did. You said it like that, but then of course it wasn't a guess. So.
Okay, well I'm ready to move on. I threw out a bunch of games.
Good. This is Dark Cloud 2.
Oh no!
Of the series of Dark Cloud.
Okay.
So he had it when I said action RPG, he said something like Dark Cloud. When I said steampunk, because he's holding the wrench or whatever.
Yeah,
it may
I
be.
remember
Yeah,
that.
So, yeah, that's where it comes from.
I thought that was a Square game.
It's not a Square game. It's
Who's
the
it by?
developer by level
this
5
game.
Oh, that is level 5.
by Nino Kuni. And
So
it's
yeah,
Nino
Nino Kuni did the same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, I should have known that.
That is
Okay.
one of my favorite RPGs of that console. And
Okay. Now
and,
I never played Dark Cloud.
here's what I did. I played Dark Cloud 2, loved it, went back to Dark Cloud 1, and I was like, I don't like this. So Dark Cloud 2 is the one that actually really let me enjoy that series.
Cool.
Let's wrap things up here, Andrew,
Yeah.
if you want to promote some community stuff, and let's get out of here.
I'm gonna give you Rob. I'm gonna give you that one though. By the way, you guessed in the middle of it.
No, it doesn't count, but
Okay.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
All
Chat
right,
never
everyone.
gets to the game unless you cheat.
Just put it this way: even though Rob was wrong, he was still kind of right.
He's still kind of right. There you go. There you go. So I would like to thank, Lino, right? Lin, just Lino in chat.
Jay, this is called Jay. Thanks, Jay.
Jay. All right. Thanks for joining
Jay.
us. And thank you for the community for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate it. We would love some 5-star reviews, some likes, some subscribes, that sort of thing, comments,
Follows,
feedback,
shares.
all of those things. And of course, you can join us in our Discord under the We Talk Mode podcast. We like to talk to you, just more subjects to talk about and stuff. So, but if you want to know more about our community, our gaming community, it's on pixelpubgaming.com. That's our website, official website. There's a lot of stuff on there, from all of the games we play to the servers we host, like Ark, to the clans that we have, the guilds that we have. So just go there, get informed, and of course join that Discord. It's growing. It's awesome. We're giving away a lot of stuff. Like every week we're giving away stuff. And I gotta thank the community for providing all of those keys and everything. So thank you for that.
Like I said, I got a giveaway. I got into Fortnite on mobile, so that's
There you
kind of
go.
cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
there you go.
Yeah.
And then of course, if you want to know us by our gamer tags, there's the crew page, and you can find our information there as well.
Yep. You can
Okay,
also
thank
join my ignore list on Xbox Live.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're going to add me there, make sure we chatted at least once ahead of time and tell me you're going to do it, because I get flooded with requests for some reason. Just piggybacking on what Andrew was saying, we have a very active and healthy Sea of Thieves Discord community. There are people playing all the time, apparently all hours of the days. I don't think these people have jobs. But you can go and find a group pretty much at any point in time. So that's been very reassuring. I would say the one thing that really sticks out about the Sea of Thieves group is that even though they love Sea of Thieves, they love the Xbox interface on PC even more.
I think everybody loves that.
I think everyone loves it, especially this group. So when you go there, that's a good way to start off, is just talk about how much you love it.
Yeah, make sure to join that club, that PixelPub club.
Yep.
Yep.
Some
Do
kid.
that. Do that.
And as always, I'm Abop, ABOP. And if you're in WoW, make sure to check out our Badman Magemma's guilds on Sar Garrison, Bleeding Hollow for the Horde. So, get in touch with us on Twitch, and we'll on Discord. And we'll get you an invite to one of the guilds. But that'll be it for this week. See you guys later.
Bye.
See everyone.